flames nor their depths could claim me.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
The sharks are circling. Tongueless men can't talk back.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
It's sweeter when it's stolen.
Minions have spawned.
Into the wind! To the hilt!
It's not that cold outside, it was just cold in here.
Time for an example. Everyone pays. I'll make slaves of their skin. Sink or swim, lads.
An ally has been slain.
My ship is my soul. Give me a seed, a saint any day.
Enemy has been slain.
Hoist the colors! A messy death is your first war. There's only one way. Come from stem to stern. Sinkable as my ship. No one steals from me. No quarter. Good job. March into the ocean's embrace.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. You have been slain. An ally has been slain.
Leave them with nothing but their fear. Fight like a man, or die like a dog. They're sailing into dark waters. I judge a man by his scars. Cowards understand fear. They're smart. No quarter. Cruelty with purpose, boys. I'm not alone. All I ask is a good ship and a bad crew. Brutality is loyalty. I'll carve my name into their bones. The sea may be wicked, but I'm worse. Solves most problems. The deserts are calm. Cruelty with purpose, boys. Eat power. There's only one way in Bilgewater.
An enemy has been slain.
Porter. I'll carve my name to the strike while the bell's hot. Sink or swim, lads. I'll grant their death wish. A messy death is your first warning.
An enemy has been slain. Enemy has been slain.
All I ask is a good ship.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Into the wind.
Slain an enemy.
From me.
Enemy killing spree.
Fix these broken things.
Shut down.
Give me a sea dog over a saint any day. Fight like a man. The sea may be wicked, but I'm worse.
An enemy has been slain.
Here, man, is a lost
Killing spree.
water.
There's temperature below zero, and yet Duralast carbide. That's why Duralast batteries are tested to perform
My
as
ship
conditions.
is my
So
soul.
even if it's 40 below Starlight, America's #1 battery destination.
Listen up.
Heave to.
Focusing is easier without
It's
ads.
sweeter
With
when it's
Spotify
stolen.
Premium, you can drown out all the distractions and get in the zone to accomplish your next task. Listen to all the songs you want, minus the ads, minus the interruptions. Try Spotify Premium. Click on the banner.
Unsinkable as my ship. Cruelty with purpose, boys! Give me a sea dog for a safe any day. There's only one way to build water. Mine. I judge a man by his scars. Bring them to chum. A scared man is a loyal man. It's sweeter when it's stolen. I'll carve my name into their bones. Tongueless men can't talk back.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
No one steals from me. Guts for garters. Cowards understand fear. They're smart. I am as unseen. Ship and a bad crew. Leave them with nothing but their fear. A blade in the gut solves most problems.
Oh, that sucks. That's true!
Their top laner Ruin, and he is also your choice as player of the game with 60% of the votes on Twitter.
Wow.
You couldn't wish for a better start, I think, if you're starting in both.
This guy had a fantastic performance. He was a key part of the win for Giants, getting that phenomenal outplay onto both White Knight and Cold. That is exactly how you want to be starting off your 2018 LCS Spring Split.
Fantastic, and I think a lot more eyes will be on Giants going forward, but right now I want to focus in on our next matchup between Schalke 04 and Rocket. You might know Schalke from the German Bundesliga, where it is one of the most popular and successful clubs in German football. Now, coming into 2018, they've put a lot of resources into crafting a team that can compete at the top of the European LCS.
Yes, they have. Back in 2016, Schalke was relegated and they've spent the entirety of 2017 in the Challenger Series. But now they're back and they want to do things properly. They did this initially by investing in the infrastructure before the team. They got an experienced manager, they got experienced coaches, and they built an environment to support what looks like a star-filled roster.
Well, Star-Studded is saying something. Zephalopod, Pride, Nukeduck, Upset, and Vander. That is a fantastic roster to be going into the EULCS with. Veterans as well as rookies. And Venice, I know you were very excited to talk about Upset. We do have a bit of an announcement. Upset will not be playing this game due to a medical emergency. And it looks like on stage currently their sub Boris is setting up to play support, which would mean that Vander is AD carry. That's what we can see right now. So I still want to touch on Upset because he will be playing with Schalke for the rest of the games, obviously. And why exactly are you so excited about him and seeing him in this squad?
Well, the thing about Upset is mechanically he is very impressive. There's very little you can say about it. And not only that, you look about the other pros and all they've said is promising things about him. He's the next up-and-coming Sven. He's extremely talented. And when you go and ask all the other coaching staff, they're like, he's extremely driven. He has a lot of motivation. This guy wants to be the best. And that's why he seems so hyped coming into the LCS.
It seems weird talking about him now that he won't be on stage, but I think it is important because it drives us to the question, what does this now change? This roster was incredibly hyped up. They put up a lot of content. A lot of people are expecting a lot from them. So how does this change the game for them coming in, and how do you think they will adapt?
Well, the dynamic is now going to be completely different. Vander playing in a role that he's not comfortable with. You've also got a rookie in Pride. Well, not a rookie, just someone who didn't have the best performance last year.
Rookie of the split?
That's very true. Someone who didn't have the greatest of splits, joining some of veteran talent in Nukeduck and Vizicachi. It's going to take a while for them to mesh. So I think that in the first few weeks, and especially this game, it's going to be a bit of a rough ride.
However, where do you see them ending playoffs, come playoffs?
Once Upset returns to the roster, my expectations are high towards the end of the split, and I'm looking at this roster to be a top 4 contender.
Yeah, a bit of a false start. We'll still hope that they can make a good one, but now for a closer look at Schalke's opponents tonight, we are joined by Aaron Medic Chamberlain.
Thank you very much, Schultz. Rocket have a brand new face as they come into the 2018 spring split. From known names like Prophet and Hiku and Memento to new blood in Norscaron and Blanc, Rocket are once again reborn. Let's remember they are a team that have produced some of the most talented players to grace our stage. 26 people have passed through their talent factory and come to play in the EU LCS. From veteran stars like Nukeduck and Vander and Yankos, to newer players like Maxlord Pride, Hyanan and Wadid, Rocket continue to take the underrated and turn them into stars. This is where Rocket thrive. They live to be the underdog. They lie waiting in the darkness until the opportune moment, and then they strike and become the Kingslayers. You never know what you're going to get with Rocket, and that's why they're just so entertaining to watch. We'll be looking to get their fans hyped with a win against Schalke, so let's head over to the casters to see if their climb to the top starts today.
Thank you very much, Medic. Kingslayers or Paupers, we'll find out today. Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Trevor Quickshot Henry, alongside my longtime lover, Martin DeFiscio-Linger. It's good to be back, Martin.
What happened to your wedding ring?
Nothing. Let's check out the team starting on stage with Rocket on the blue side. Prophet, Memento, Blanc, Hiku, Norscaron, and their coach, undefeated in series, Freddy.
There you go. A lot of new names on this Rocket lineup, but fighting from the red side today, we do have Schalke with, of course, Vizicachi up in that top lane. In just a moment, we want to tease it a little bit. There's Vizicachi on your screen. Pride is the jungler, renamed for Pride Sorghum. Make it simple. Nukeduck is the mid laner. Vander AD carry, and Boris is now the support because Upset is sadly sick.
That's correct. Due to the medical issue, of course, Upset will not be performing on stage. Their official substitute, Boris, has taken to the stage. Former EULCS Shoutcaster Prepo renamed since leaving the Shoutcaster scene. What is this going to do for synergy? I mean, this is a coach, this is a guy who is leading the squad, but it's the other 4 guys that now have to carry and pick up the slack.
I mean, first of all, it's really tough for the entire lineup here. They've been preparing for multiple weeks for this game with Upset. It means Vander again now needs to move from support to AD carry. It's a big change for him at the same time. And it's obviously going to ruin a lot, and it's going to be very difficult for us to really get a great view of what this Schalke lineup can do here in the EULCS. We obviously hope Upset is back already for tomorrow so he can play.
I mean, that's the hope, especially with somebody with so much excitement around him, so much anticipation. Somebody I'm excited to see as well, Andre, the former Giant, now coach of Schalke, a guy who, you know, he really impressed.
Yeah.
He led that Giant squad that's now mostly Vitality last year to re-qualify. He spent a day with us on the analyst desk, and the guy's got some opinions. He's a leader that can...
He's a future caster.
Yes, he can rally the troops, you know, and that's something that I want to see what he can do on stage.
And I've only heard good things about him as well. Like his work ethic is amazing, the way he actually managed to get the respect of the players, and then of course his knowledge of the game. But we also have to then turn over to Rocket, where there is a new coach in Freddy behind the team. He was the assistant coach, or what do you call it, secondary coach before, behind Grabs. But now he's actually taken over the head coach role, and it's the same kind of thing with Freddy, where the pick and ban and the game knowledge is what we're really looking at when we're judging him as a coach. He's never been the big alpha type who will just tell you to shut up and sit down, but he's always been a smart player.
Only when he played Aatrox
then you
in the day.
Then you stepped away and you gave some respect to Freddy.
Deficio, we talked a lot about the coaches now. You're quietly interested in the Rocket players. There's a little bit of potential there in the squad if they can mesh, if they can find their groove as a five-man unit.
Yeah, I mean, so if you just look at the two Koreans on the team, Prophet obviously in the top lane, he was an NIP last, but he was an SKT in the past. And then we have Blank in the mid lane, who was on PSG down in the EUCS. Both these players, I don't really feel like they've gotten to show what they can do just yet here in Europe. Prophet was on a team that lost a lot, and his own performance wasn't really spot on.
Yeah.
But it's also because lack of communication and these kind of things. He's had now a full split in Europe, and Blank has had a full year in Europe.
Yep.
So I actually think these guys now will start meshing much better with the European players and can start showing more.
I want to see what they're going to do. There's a lot of Rocket support here in the crowd. A lot of flags and banners. And they've got a new look team. They've got some potential on this roster. Rocket as an organization has turned over so many EULCS players over the years, moving on to bigger and better things. This man on your screen, Memento, which we'll
That
get
Memento?
to. We'll get
Wow,
to
he
in a
looks so
minute.
different.
I actually tried to have a conversation with Erwin, who's the Schalke mascot a little bit earlier, but he doesn't speak. He doesn't say anything. It's kind of his catchphrase. I was like, what story can I tell about Erwin on stage? Because I'm not a football man, which I'm sure you know, Deficio. But Erwin, stone cold killer, silent. He's here to support the team.
Waves that flag like a boss. Gotta give him that one. But back to Rocket.
Back to Rocket and Memento.
They do speak a lot, and Memento speaks a lot.
Will he unlock Prophet and Blank?
I think he can do it.
Okay.
I think Memento is actually pretty good. And I think he's always been on teams where it was hard for him to consistently be a carry jungler, because maybe sometimes some of the players around him weren't at the highest level. But I always feel like Memento on his own actually had fine performances. I also think he's a fairly, creative jungler in how he's playing, and he's very aggressive, which I really, really like. So what I'm looking at with Rocket is Prophet, Memento, and Blank as a holy trinity, basically, on the top side, where I actually think they can get a lot of work done for this team.
And even long-time listeners and viewers will recognize that once per split, Deficio will anoint a team that has the Holy Trinity.
Early on, I will shoot it out to like 3-4 teams, and then hope it sticks with at least one of them.
But we will find out whether or not Rocket will unleash their Holy Trinity. It is Rocket taking on Schalke. The new players to the stage are now ready. When we jump into picks and bans, the EU meta, has it surprised you today as we jump into the bad phase?
I think the picks have been fairly standard from what we have seen in LCK and in the LPL, but some of the bans have surprised me. In Europe, first of all, apparently we don't really need to ban things like Gangplank, because no one for some reason picks it. Even though in LCK it's like such a contested pick, and from what I'm hearing from other regions, they're also really loving the Gangplank. Not in Europe so far. Java ban, not a big surprise here. Alistar ban, I think we're a little bit too scared of Alistar at the moment. I think Braum personally is a better support, so I'm not really sure why Alistar's always getting removed.
Well, we'll find out once the season plays out. It's day 1, it's game 4. We don't have too many picks and bans under our belts, but Alistar Zoe Cogmore rounds out Rocket's ban. Callista and J4. Ladies and gentlemen, crank up that bass as we're about to get down. Where are we going with first pick?
Right now, if we're looking at the 100% pick rate, pick and ban rates, like we're looking at things like Ezreal, Sejuani, and Ryze that are still left up. You can't only get rid of one of them if you want to, but Schalke doesn't want to play against Zyra or Khan combo, so they banned the Zyra. But again, now, it means things like Sejuani is there, Ezreal, and again, the Ryze I mentioned before, all 100% pick ban over in the LCK. Also been contested today here.
Do you have a preference on what you like for the first pick? Like Ezreal in comparison to the other sort of 100% or maybe A to S tier picks?
I think in this case, if you're Rocket going Ezreal here, it's fine because Kalista, Xayah banned on the side of Schalke, and you also banned your own AD carry on the side of Rocket, and you can still trade Ryze for Zeo.
Right.
If you want to take a mid lane trade. So you're actually getting a lot of value by grabbing their best AD carry available that you can't really match just yet on the side of Schalke.
Let's see where they go. Not only do they have to match the AD carry power,
we saw this one first
in the role swap. Ryze locked in, there was a hover over the Evelyn, but going to another assassin, it's going to be Kha'Zix instead.
Now, if you are on the side of Rocket, typically we see mid lane pick now, and it will be normally Azir in this case. If you pick Malzahar, Tahm Kench can be locked in on the side of Schalke, kind of like this one. So Azir is typically the go-to choice, also because he's really good with Ezreal. Kite back, long team fights. Trevor's voice will disappear halfway through because every fight is done in 20 minutes. Rocket on their side is saying, you know what? That's Tahm Kench. We'll take it even though there's no Malzahar.
So no real surprises yet. We're not seeing the popular picks, it's just some of the bands that you were questioning maybe.
They're just a little bit different. Yeah. But Europe, clearly with their own band meta so far. Ooh, this would be very interesting. He just got buffed on 8.1. And he's actually really good against tank supports.
And it's not going to happen.
No, but I'm talking about Braum, because I don't talk about hovers.
That's right. I mean, you said it. Braum, you said was better than Alistair.
There you go.
Going back to it, don't say the name, you never make a mistake.
Exactly.
AD carry pool is available for pinching if they want to go that route. Probably not going to be the case. Ornn still up and available, and there's the Sejuani ban.
There's the Sejuani ban, obviously. No jungler picked on the side of Rocket yet. 480 carry. Things like Tristana are still there. Vayne, Sivir, a pick you can take against Ezreal as well. It's pretty hard to predict the bot lane with Vander here because we don't really know what Vander likes to play in the AD carry role, seeing as he's normally a support. They could have maybe tried to go for the Ornn Sion bot lane we had over in Vietnam here with Levi's. Former Team G5 Marines playing it. I added the former part.
I know, it was good recovery. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see that yet. That would be a Mickey special maybe.
But that would have been sick now with 2 supports in the bot lane.
It would have been. Unfortunately not the case. Vladimir rounds out Schalke's bans, along with the Sejuani. One last ban being Tristana, so it was the AD carry pinching in terms of some of those S tier or top tier picks maybe with Xayah, Tristana, Kog'Maw, Caitlyn, a lot, and Kalista all off the table.
I just want to see if Vander is confident enough in taking something like a Vayne. Laning against Ezreal Tahm Kench is not always the hardest thing in the world, and it is really good then in the late game, but he's playing it very safe. Can't really play that one. It is Varus, being locked in, and not going for the crazy one.
Good opening pick, safe champion. Provides some more utility to, well, really has quite a lot of utility on the side of Schalke, but not a huge amount of tankiness.
Classic Freddy Hover right there.
Really like that. Hiku paying some respects to his undefeated series coach behind him.
Now, top lane is really interesting because there are very few safe blind picks in Europe at the moment because people are not picking GP, which has been used as a blind pick in other regions. So if you normally want a blind pick, you then say, okay, Cho'Gath, or like just like some sort of tank where you might lose lane a little bit, but you're useful in team fights. Not in this case here. Project goes with Gnar, and that is risky because Gnar does have a lot of counter matchups. Like Jay's top lane can really destroy him hard, and Vizichachi is a man who likes to play carry top laners and destroy you in lane.
If there's any top laner you do not want to wave a red flag at, like a bull, because he's going to charge you, Vizichachi's the man.
He definitely is.
He will opt into those 1-for-1 trades 90% of the time.
Camille is also open for him if you want to play that, but what's going on here?
Now, I've not seen a huge amount of Ornn throughout the course of EU today. One game earlier, Ruin played it phenomenally. And Chachi's got it. What do you think Ornn into now?
I mean, the thing about Ornn is, if you're not playing like a matchup that can really shut him down hard in lane, then he's still really, really strong. Ton of CC, very tanky, good early trading in lane, so I don't think it's a bad pick by any means here for Vizichachi, but I would have loved to see him counter-pick this Gnar and then see Schalke play around with Vizichachi because, let's be real, they shouldn't really be playing around their bottom lane, seeing as it's 2 supports. I needed Vizichachi then to be a guy who can carry, but he's now on a tank, so they're actually not trying to throw any curveballs in this draft, and it seems to be like a very standard draft. even though it's not a standard lineup because of no upset.
Exactly. You gotta work around that substitution. We'll see how they perform. Freddy and Andre about to shake hands as we kick off Rocket against Schalke. Of course, if you have just tuned in, Upset is not playing today due to a medical issue. And of course, their substitute Boris has stepped in, and his Vander has role swapped for this game to aid his carry. Looking at the picks and bans, do you see big trends? Obviously, Rocket's got the option to kite and fight. They've got some of those tools and safety. Keep peeling backwards, but they got some pick potential as well.
I mean, I really like Evelyn, first of all, in this meta here. If you can't punish her in the early game, she just completely takes over in the late game. I just think it's risky against Kha'Zix, and that's where I'm a little bit hesitant on saying I think it's a great pick in this situation, because Kha'Zix can find her in the early game and punish her 1v1. Though I should highlight a lot of kite back on Rocket's side. I think also that's why Ornn was selected for Mr. Chachi with that long range potential engage. Otherwise, no one could really force a clear fight on the side of Schalke.
Yeah, the call of the Forge Guard could be game-breaking. Ladies and gentlemen, is Berlin. We're loading onto the rim. This is officially the coolest picks and bans song we have in the rotation. Thank you, production team. Let's see who's going to get the early advantage.
We need to embrace that we are Germany. Though we need like Einstein, Polizei, or something in that pick and ban phase.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Just for like one pick and ban.
The problem is then we would have the crowd cheering and singing instead of looking at the picks and bans.
It would be too much of a party, dude. Yeah. That's true. We cannot have too much fun here at the ULCS.
No, this is serious business. Lane shenanigans, nobody set up just yet. Looking at League of Stopwatches, 6 of them again.
Yeah.
Really committing to this tree, it looks like.
Only Boris down the bottom lane, not selecting one for himself on the Braum. Definitely not necessary either, but overall here, Busy Chachi on the Ornn in top lane, as we highlighted in Champ Select, did not want to go for a counter pick to try and destroy the lane and just take over as a carry. Went for the safe tank, add some more engage, because once we go into this late game, Evelyn scaling is fantastic. Ezreal and Z as a combination, great. But it then coming down suddenly to Flank and HiQ and their positioning in late game teamfights. And I think with HiQ, in the past, he's not been shining in the early laning phase, but he's had some of these games where he stood out in late game fights. This needs to be one of them.
Of course, the performance of the new Rocket squad is something we're going to be talking about. You know, we touched on in the pregame, this new look squad, not the Kingslayers of 2017.
Not yet.
Not yet. And we got all 5 members. This is the former roster, of course. Buxy, Pride, now playing for Schalke, his opposing team, Betty, Kron, and Wadid. They've now swapped the 5 players on your screen. And Officio, we've already touched on some of the elements they've got to
And one of the very important things to highlight here is that when this Rocket lineup in 2017 was shown to the world, people were saying, oh, a lot of question marks, a lot of players they're not really sure of. And those players actually ended up having some really good games that became, as you said, the Kingslayers. This Rocket 2018 lineup, kind of the same story, where there are some of the names like HiQ and Memento and Prophet, where you feel like you have seen them before, and they weren't dominating in the ULCS, so you start kind of questioning, okay, is this their peak? You know, how good can they be? But a team like Rocket can take some of those players who's not reached that peak just yet, and then push them towards it, and actually suddenly have some members that start outperforming expectations.
And there's even more pressure on the Rocket squad because they're coming up against a very hyped up Schalke roster, and it's a roster with a substitute. So Schalke have to figure out how they're going to play this game with a role swap and a sub. It's almost like 2 substitutes in a manner of speaking. And the pressure on them as well. Day 1, big debut after re-qualifying to the LCS, and no real problems in lane yet. You kind of expect the TK Ezreal to push in a Braum Varus, and that's exactly what they're doing. Tongue lashes and Mystic Shot all the way.
Well, I think right now Schalke are fine as long as their bot lane is just playing safe and not really risking too many things. Meanwhile though, Pride on this cast, one of the picks that can punish an Evelyn extremely hard. Pride is the one player you look at on this Schalke lineup and you say, okay, we saw the potential, but we're not sure if this guy is going to be one of the absolute best jumpers in Europe. It's impossible to say at this point. Right. Schalke believed it. They interviewed him, they liked it. They said early on, we want to sign this guy. There was built-in synergy because Newdog and Vander have already played a lot with him in solo queue. And they're putting a lot of focus on him now with giving him a classics in the first game and saying, yo, go crazy. Show us what you can do on this carry jungle.
We're going to find out, aren't we? A few minutes to go before we start seeing those big trades or bursts. I mean, level 4 for Memento, level 4 for Pride. A couple of deep wards placed by the Rocket squad. I quite like this pink ward by Memento on the red buff. We caught a glimpse of Noscarid walking into Pride's blue buff. And good proactive vision from Rocket. And this is going to allow Memento to get in behind Vizicachi.
Let's remember, Evelyn is not stealth before level 6, so you don't need the ward on the camps to do your Schalke. You have not spotted the Evelyn because he's actually sneaking his way in behind. Been waiting for a long time. He's going now.
Alright, let's see what Memento can do. That's an early flash. The allure comes out. Vizicachi takes a couple of hate spikes to the face. Prophet thinks about the dive. Doesn't risk it. And Vizicachi, just a summoner spell.
Still getting him low. TP was already used by Vizicachi earlier. That suddenly means now that Prophet gets quite a big advantage in terms of early experience in this lane here. Very important for Rocket. Prophet is the kind of player who loves to sit in the side lane. He loves to be a split pusher.
Really? Where did we see that last?
I believe last split.
Oh, that's right.
On NIP. And funny enough, he also really liked to play Gnar there.
Oh, right.
And now he gets a great start to his laning phase.
What's going to be interesting is whether or not Prophet gets to shine more with players around him who should perform a little better. Memento with a great early gank already, good early vision setup for that top half. We're just going to let Prophet do Prophet things. Keep shoving in and... Like, let's see. See you in the next few minutes.
If Doug Pride, already as we talked about, you gotta invade on this Evelyn in the early game. Level 6 is her first big power spike. If you can get in there before that, she won't do a whole lot against you. If you get a few Raptors, you next see Pride pick them up with Memento there, but it was a little fight at least.
A little bit of trading in the jungle. Nukeduck did leave his lane to go and help out Pride on that invade, and we've not looked at the mid lane too much. Nukeduck taking on Blanc. And of course, Nukeduck has always been one of the most talked up players, mid laners in the EULCS. Is this the year of Nukeduck because the team should be able to make him shine? Yes or no?
I'm saying yes. It's the year of Nukeduck. He was really good last split already. So again, that kind of builds towards, you know, the year of Nukeduck. He definitely carried a lot of games on his own team vitality, and again, the amount of respect he gets, the fact that Febiven is not here, Pauli was left as well. There are a few, there's less mid laners right now to fight against, and Nukeduck is going to be one of those guys we're looking at to be one of the best.
This, the year of Nukeduck. Where's the Realm Warp? Hasn't used it yet, doesn't even need it. Gets the Rune Prison, takes a couple of shots, first blood. Nukeduck walks away. We could not have scripted, planned that better.
There we go. And we've seen this already today. A Rise that pushes his lane in the early game, and then he walks to the top lane, and he kills the top laner.
And you hear the crowd cheering and chanting. That's not for the kill. That's because Erwin is dancing in front of them, getting everybody hyped up. Schalke on the board. And it's the destruction of the Holy Trinity, because the top lane could defend the Trinity of Schalke, Officio.
You have to remember, with the Holy Trinity and the way I approach it, it is a little bit of a shotgun effect. I shoot it out and it spreads around, and it just has to stick, at least with one of the teams. Not with Rocket early on here, but really nothing a Prophet can do at this point. When in with mid lane is roaming with, you know, a little teleport as well, and if a jungler shows up, you're going to die.
Well executed, well played. Looking for summoner spell cost, nothing even invested on the Schalke side. They've got a 500 gold lead as the lane resets, and Blanc, with that Comet and that Poke, continuing to chip away at Nukeduck. He's got some support from Memento.
Well now, yeah, but before here, Blanc couldn't really do much to stop it. Let's see another fight, Trevor.
Alright, Memento's in trouble. Pride just deletes
Say it with me. Okay.
Nukeduck, it is your time!
I was gonna say the year of Nukeduck.
I know, but we said that already.
Fine. The Norwegian Stallion.
I don't know if you can call it, but do they ride horses in Norway? Isn't it like mooses? It's the moose?
They ride mountain goats. There are only mountains in Norway.
And that's why Ornn was locked in. He's going to call that Forge God to lead Schalke even further. 1,000 gold up. And the carries that needed to step up have done so.
HQ stole his own red buff. Pride didn't have Smite ready. That one sucks. Hold on by EQ. We'll take it back down to the bot lane and see if we can get further ahead in this lane. Yeah, it is Klepto Ezreal, of course. Yeah. Not that strong in the first, part of the game when you're sitting with that tier and just a sheet, but once you hit 2 items, which you do very quickly because of Klepto, you become so annoying, so hard to deal with. And at the moment, Rocket, they can just let the bot lane sit and farm and try and protect the top side, because we've already seen one dart against Prophet. But even after the first 2 kills, I still feel like Prophet and the rest of Rocket are in an okay spot.
Take a look at Vizichach. He decides to engage Prophet. Mega gnaws out and he's forced to run away. Not trading any big advantages here yet. But Hikyu already up 16 CS. That red buff's going to help him out. Evander and Boris have been poked in the whole time. You expect that to happen in the lane. You can see as soon as we take a glimpse down.
But also look at the minimap, Trevor. It's like control wards from Rocket side covering the entire bot side. Then there is a red buff Ezreal just spam poking you down. It is a horrible lane to be in right now if you are Schalke's bottom lane, and they're not getting any help from their jungler because they know they might just lose that exchange if it's a 3v3 on the bottom side. So at the moment, they just have to try and stay alive, use Relic Shield to get a few more last hits and get some HP back and see if we can keep this turret alive.
Well, as long as they continue to hold that tower and fend off this pressure, Schalke's taking advantage in the top. Good defense here from Boris, using that Unbreakable to block. Couple of autos at least from Hikyu. Norscaron's tongue lashing goes wide, but aim the game, Rocket, take down the tower. Maybe try to rotate around if they can, and for Schalke, it's just gank the flashless Prophet.
It's the same play again here. Prophet this time around gets the call from the mid lane. Nukdog is missing. Walks back. No, he actually. Oh, is he going back to the tower or not? Prophet plays safe until Nukdog shows himself. There we go.
But how much chip damage is actually getting on that tower? I didn't quite grasp the damage. So
shouldn't be a lot yet because he's still a melee champion with the ward here. So at the moment, as long as Prophet can stay alive top, the bot lane can do some work.
Yeah, Vander's feeling a little bit hopeful here, pushing forward, chasing with that ultimate available. All summoner spells and teleport are up on the side of Schalke. So if they want to roam, Memento and Blanc, remember to double TP Schalke squad. They can come in for this one. Memento and Blanc, they're going forward.
Pride is not here. He's on the other side of the map. So just the 2 TPs you just highlighted. Let's see what happens here.
Let's take a look. That's a flash from Vander. Boris puts the Unbreakable. He exhausts Hikyu. Vander's the first to fall. That's Rocket on the board. Here comes the backup. Schalke, call on the forward squad. Into a female knocker. Blade forced to flash for his life. Newton keeps spamming out the overloads, locking down them with the Rune Prison. Hikyu wants to over the wall, but Vizichach throws down the brittle. Hikyu goes golden for a few seconds, but Vizichach does not care. Hikyu flashes over the wall to safety. The true shot for all. He's an out. Boris sidesteps with the mechanics, and Schalke win the fight.
2 for 1 right there for Schalke in a 4v5 situation. Trevor, you called the double TP already. Instantly, the reaction was there from Schalke's side, and Rocket, they thought they could get just 1 kill and then back away and get some damage on the turret. And to make it even worse, because Pride was on the top side when this happened, he just walked into the top lane and said, well, I guess I'm just taking the free tower here.
First tower blood, team fight win, and a 2.5k gold lead. It all stemmed from this play.
And I get the play here. You look at Boros being low, Vander's an easy target to kill, and the TPs need to challenge first. You think you can get 1 or 2 early kills and win the fight. But because they only get the kill on Vander, and then